Are you ready?
Agility from the champion. Oh, deep six! That could be it. Delivered this deep six. This is episode 150. Good evening, everybody. It is after 10 o'clock here, New York Eastern Time. I am joined by my co-host, Brandon. How are you, sir? I gotta get rid of that banner. That banner is really old. There we go.
It's okay. There it is.
How you doing, Brandon?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Welcome.
Been working. How you doing?
Yo, it has been a long week in the sense that my work schedule basically changed for like the next few weeks for one reason or another. So I'm working like 12 to 9s, which is really like 9:30. And yeah, it's been a little different and weird, but not bad at the same time. But, you know, getting home at like 10 o'clock at night. You know, most nights I get home at like 9 o'clock anyway, 9:30, 10 o'clock, you know, for doing something after work. We're going to the gym. So it really hasn't been terrible, but it's a little bit of adjustment at the same time. I literally walked through the door of my house 20 minutes. I'm like, yo, we got to talk to the wrestling community tonight. So here I am doing good. We're 3 weeks removed from WrestleMania. And so there's Backlash literally a couple days from now. We're just about inside 3 days away from Backlash in Tampa Bay. So, but otherwise, we had a real successful weekend for the Aftermath WrestleMania weekend. So, hoping to go to more shows and talk to more fans, interview more people, get some more content, because we really had a good WrestleMania weekend for our YouTube channel. We had a lot of follows. We got to meet new people. And, yeah, I mean, this year in general, we've blown out every single metric from 2025 that you could ask for.
Hell yeah. I keep thinking, I wonder how many shows I've actually done, because we've definitely had a few different shows as time has went, but it's definitely cool to keep talking about wrestling, about Raw at least.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I wonder how many shows I've done. I'll figure that out another time.
If I had to guess, we're probably sitting at about 40.
Sounds about right.
If I had to guess.
Maybe a couple of prediction shows pushes that to 45, but yeah, I'm gonna do a quick YouTube check later, see when the first
I
one
am
was.
curious. I'm curious what the over-under is. You'll have to let me know on that.
Got you. Well,
Our channel in general has done well over 200 shows.
Oh,
but
wow.
And that's if you're counting all the prediction shows, the watch-alongs we did, the post shows, and then the podcast shows. So we've done really well over 200 shows, and we're in our 7th year of the podcast. And so far, 2026 is. Oh, if we did nothing more the rest of this year, 2026 is already the best year.
Wow.
That we've had in our 6 years existence. So like I said, we've already blown out 25. So, man, this is going to be a good year for us. But anyhow, let's talk wrestling. How about
Let's keep it going, right? Yeah, let's keep it going to 200. Let's go.
Let's keep it going. We're going to start off. I'm just going to start off super random here. Oba Femi. Oba Femi was featured on the show last night as the official first week of the Oba Femi, if you want to call it invitational. That's why I think they should have said invitational, because I think the word open challenge has been used a little bit too often lately. But we got the Oba Femi, aka invitational, open challenge, whatever you want to call it. And I thought this was great. You gotta be kidding me. You see Obafemi, and then you see Alpha Academy come out, and looking like Tozawa is gonna answer the call. Then he steps up to Obafemi, and he's like, "Nope." And he typically
Noped
turns
out.
around and tags in Otis, and then Otis steps up to Obafemi. And man, did we have meat slapping meat last night? Obafemi versus Otis. What did you think of this match? Let me tell you something. Obafemi, he's a mega star. Plain and
Mhm.
simple.
So I was busy last night, so I ended up watching Raw this morning, right? My friend texted me the match from Reddit. It was posted. I was in awe. Watching again this morning, I had to watch it again, and then I had to watch it a third time. I'm just in fantastic. Otis has been one of my favorites for years, and I understand this is kind of like a one-off thing, but to do that to a man at that size is crazy. Dude's built like a builder. Like what did I try to say there? Dude's built like a boulder. And I like how he used his brain and instead of trying to lift him up, put him onto the second rope, duck under, and then did the fall from grace. Like that was great. Freaking threw him. It was Obafemi. Looks very strong, but now I just don't know where you go from here. I think um I think Ethan Page is going to have a match against him, and I don't know what's going to happen from there because Rusev will probably get involved, and then you have a Rusev in the mix. Like, there's a lot of ways to get other guys involved that are, you know, bigger individuals, but I think it's going to have to be like a bigger body individual step up. So, yeah, I think we'll see Rusev soon. Um, I don't know if there's too many other guys from
Well, I'm looking
NXT.
for Sheamus to make a return.
Sheamus will probably yes, if he's healthy, he'll come back. There's definitely a few guys that can also, like you said, they could make a lot of surprise returns over the next few because that's what wasn't Heath Slater doing that like 10 years ago? He had like an open challenge, then all of a sudden there were a bunch of like old school wrestlers were coming back and kicking his butt.
Yeah.
So like I think that could be the other way where we could actually get some big pops, like you said, for a Sheamus coming back and most likely losing to Obo, but at least we get to see them on TV again. So that'd be pretty cool.
Absolutely. I mean, I think they're going to work on giving Oba some squash matches or somewhat squash matches like these for the next couple months until we start getting to the thick of things where, we start having tournaments for number one contender. So, if, as I had mentioned in one of our shorts, you guys can check it out. It's only 30 seconds long, if that, maybe a minute, about where do we go Oba Femi next. Okay? I think, and they haven't announced it yet, but I think they're gonna bring in the King of the Ring tournament to bridge us from the middle of May into July, late June, leading into Night of Champions, where we do the King and Queen finals for the King of the Ring. Get us our number one contenders. Right then and there, we're in the beginning of July with a 4 week build to SummerSlam. That's how close we are. If you excuse me, if you really think about it, that's how close we are to SummerSlam. Believe it or not, it's gonna go quick.
Huh.
It's gonna go quick. So there's quite a bit of space of time between Backlash and um, Night of Champions, where you have all that time to build and have make one. You're building to the King of the Ring final matches, and two, with having these qualifiers for the King of the Ring, you're making more meaningful matches on Raw and SmackDown, and I think they should do it bracket style, so it just keeps the fans more engaged. Um, so I think if they do this, Obafemi will be in there, and he will win King of the Ring and become summer number one contender for SummerSlam. I think that you do this. This would be a very similar build, like Brock Lesnar in 2002, where he was squashing people post Mania for a few months. Then he got into the King of the Ring tournament, won the King of the Ring finals, and earned his number one contender spot to face The Rock at SummerSlam 2002, where Brock Lesnar won. This push that we're seeing with Obafemi is mirroring 2002 Brock Lesnar before he faced The Rock at SummerSlam.
Hmm. Okay. No, I could definitely see that
And
push.
he
And yeah,
is like we saw him last night. Obafemi he's got it. The
yeah.
charisma, the aura, like he's got it down. And we've also discovered that he is pretty decent on the microphone too. And that uppercut that he did last night to Otis, that running uppercut popped pretty much the whole wrestling universe. It popped me for sure.
Oh yeah.
So that was one of the highlighted moves of the night, but that was heavily touted about and talked about last night at regarding last night's Raw. So, but yeah,
Yeah, that was definitely crazy. Can't wait to see him versus Braun Breaker. That's gonna be an insane match. I know it's gonna be probably a little bit, but that match is gonna be fantastic.
if Braun Breaker can continue being built to main event, I think you have Braun Breaker and Oba as a WrestleMania main event at some point. What's really interesting is Braun Breaker and Oba Femi can literally mirror the careers of when John Cena and Batista came up and won their championships for the first time at the same WrestleMania, and they came in to WWE at the same time. Braun Breaker and Oba Femi, as long as they both stay healthy, can literally their careers could literally parallel each other, just like we saw with John Cena, Batista, and John Cena, and Randy Orton.
Hmm. I can see that. I obviously wasn't watching wrestling at that point, unfortunately. But
If
but yeah, to watch that back, I could
if
definitely see it.
like I mean, my opinion is they got to put the belt on Obafemi first, and I think they should do it at SummerSlam. But I would say at the latest case scenario, they may set up Braun Breaker and Obafemi to win world titles for the first time
Hmm.
at the next WrestleMania, possibly.
Yeah, that might be the move.
Yeah, but
Depends on
that could
timing,
be the
obviously.
move. I would feel like it would be a little late for Oba, like not like late, but with the momentum Oba has, the star power that he has, the he's so over with the fans. Like you gotta have, I think you gotta have Oba win the belt. Like he's over.
Oh yeah, no question.
Speaking of Braun Breaker, he was running wild all night last night. Just kicking butt left and right. And so basically, the show starts, with Seth Rollins coming out. And funny thing is, before Seth Rollins, you saw who he confronted, right?
Uh,
Roman
uh,
Reigns and the Gorilla.
I did have that note saved. Yes,
He is
he
like, get
said
out of
you're
my
in my
way.
way, or yeah, either
You're in
you're in
my
my way.
way.
Yeah, yeah, whatever it was.
Um,
I
but
love
yeah,
that.
I was like, are they planting seeds for later on, or
Oh yeah, that's the way to get Dean Ambrose back in because I think his contract is up by next WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken. So that
interesting?
would be the way to bring him back into WWE, especially with all the cuts that we've had over the last couple of weeks now. So we'll talk more about that, I
Yeah,
guess, later. But yeah, that'd be a way to get a big name back in and have a little triple threat match at WrestleMania, which we haven't seen in a minute.
yeah. And enough for that. You mentioned Dean Ambrose. Like, we never got that triple threat match between the Shield members.
Right.
They could probably still do it. It's possible. There's hope.
Hmm.
Braun Breaker attacks Seth Rollins from behind on Seth Rollins' way to the ring. He takes out Seth. He took out Seth a bunch of times last night. Security can't even break it up. Seth gets thrown into the steps. Breaker caps off that first attack with the spear. Then we see later on Jackie Redmond talks to Seth Rollins and says he'll be okay for Backlash. Seth says he'll be fine, but Seth also told Braun Breaker last week, if you remember, that he better finish the job, and if he's gonna take a chance, he better finish him off. And then Seth says, "I ain't dead yet." So, so that was just the first part of the night.
Mhm.
What did you think
And
of this first
then,
little segment?
oh, I was, I mean, expecting it all the way. I definitely feel like Braun is going to try to get one up, and he's obviously going to try to look strong in that way. And who wouldn't want to get a leg up on the competition? Sorry, they don't stop on my road. I wonder, can you hear that?
Yeah, what are they doing back there?
That is the bicycles on. I'm off of a main road, and they love to go fast. So yeah, as soon as they fly past the light, because I'm a corner house, all I hear is them. But yeah, what
You
if
gotta
I?
love the corner house and the main roads and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been here 5.5 years, so been used to it. But definitely, still hearing it a lot is not the most fun.
So, um, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Seth Rollins was attacked a little bit later on in the show, correct?
Correct. When did that happen? Give me a second. I definitely put that into writing. Oh, I remember. Um, that was the Joe Hendry sketch. So I don't know if we want to jump around and talk about that quick before or how we got there. Entirely up to you, sir. You are the
Oh,
captain.
there it is. I was looking forward to my notes. I'm like, wait a minute. So yes. So let's jump to there to continue on Seth Rollins. So later on in the night, Joe Hendry singing the Fire Paul song,
Paul,
and
Paul,
yeah.
can we fire Logan Paul? I can't get it out of my head. It is a worm, and I'm very, very glad that they made this song because it is fantastic.
So here's the problem. There are people saying in the IWC right now that this is probably a bad time to make a song about firing someone, considering that they released about 2 dozen wrestlers.
That's cruel.
I honestly, I never thought of it like that. You know, it's kayfabe, it's a storyline. I don't think they're intentionally trying to rib the fans of releasing like 2 dozen, or rib their own employees. You know, after um, releasing 2 dozen wrestlers. But anyway, some the IWC, always chirping or whatever. But some people, thinking that was
Mhm.
bad taste for them to be doing a song like that when real life talent got released. So, but I at the same time, I kind of the song is kind of catchy. Um,
Mhm, mhm.
but yeah, that happened. Hendry Singer fired Paul. Then Logan Paul once again comes out and angrily says, "I can't be fired." And then all of a sudden, the Theory and the Hendry match starts, which was a pretty decent match, nothing too
Mhm.
crazy. But then we see Logan Paul interfere, attack Hendry in the match, attacking him from behind, and then we see the Street Fight Profits come to the save. Um, Braun Breaker takes out the Street Profits. And then Seth comes to the save, but Braun Breaker stands tall. Did you see the dive that Montez Ford did over the corner top rope to take out the Vision?
Crazy. Freaking front flip goes over Seth Rollins, and that distracted him. But yes, that was crazy. And then Braun came in and hit the spear because Rollins was damn distracted. I believe I can't hear you.
I believe I was muted. So standing
Hey,
tall once
you're good.
again, Braun Breaker. Uh, Braun Breaker's pretty much speared Seth Rollins at least 4, maybe 5 times since WrestleMania in the last 2 weeks. Um, we have the match Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins this Sunday at Backlash, which I'll be. I'm sorry, this Saturday at Backlash, which I won't be watching until I get home from work at 9:30 at night.
Hmm.
How about that?
There you go. We
How
love
about
that.
that? So no Backlash post show, unfortunately.
I'll be watching
Unless
my
I feel like doing
UFC stuff.
something Sunday night. But anyway, Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Seeing that everything we've seen the past couple weeks and couple months, who do you got winning Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins this Saturday night?
Uh, I feel like Braun coming back could use the momentum. Seth doesn't really need it for anything. So I feel like they'll probably give it to Braun. Just spear him. Just get a bunch of spears going. Maybe even a count out because of the attacks. So maybe they just start like brawling outside. We'll see. But yeah, I'd have Braun winning this one.
I think it's a little too soon. I would say it's a 10 to 25% chance we see the return of Bronson Reed,
Mm,
but I don't fully expect that till probably like around June or something, July. So I think when we originally talked about it, I think my timetable from what I figured was probably going to be something like in the summertime. So
mm. Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense.
yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. Okay, I had this banner showing for a couple minutes and we weren't even talking about it yet, but we're talking about it now. Judgment Day.
Yes.
So, um, what are your thoughts on the Liv Morgan calling out Roxanne yesterday for not telling Liv that Finn came into the clubhouse last week?
Yeah,
A little
right.
dissension we're seeing.
Well, she did make her promise that there won't be any secrets anymore. So that's good. We like that. No more secrets. Sorry, another big truck now. um, the other big thing is that was did I miss anything? No, that was really about it. That was all. Yeah,
Did
her
you notice
going
that
through
she
this
took it
question.
upon herself to come to the ring, the first one coming to the ring, and then
Yes,
everyone else followed?
yes, I did peep that.
It's almost as like Liv was like, "What the frick you doing?"
Hmm.
It was like I kind of got that kind of vibe. Um, but there's dissension there. They are planting seeds. Somebody's turning on somebody. I'm not too sure who yet. I think Roxanne probably gonna get the babyface rub out of this. Um, but there is also the opportunity to get Roxanne and Raquel the tag team championship if they decide to go that route, and then they continue slow burning the Roxanne Liv Morgan for like a later event, maybe like Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, or Mania next year. But they are working towards that, I believe. But this leads us to our match between Finn Balor versus JD,
Hmm.
which was a really good match. What did you think of the match?
Now another stylistic matchup between two guys that have known each other for a long time now. So that was really cool. Dom got involved 4 different times in the match before getting thrown out. So that was you saw that a bunch. Oh my god, the Spanish fly on Baylor's head though, that was scary.
He just cleared his head.
Yeah, that was like if it was here instead of here, it could have been a major issue. But he ended up getting lucky, and it was more on the forehead than it was the top of the head. But that still is a very scary play, landing, move, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Um,
How about Roxanne nailing Finn Balor with the hammer?
yes, she was the one that Liv was the one that tosses it to her, and she hit Finn with no hesitation. And then JD got the headbutt and literally flopped right onto right onto Finn for the win.
And what did you think of? Let me see. We had let me see. Later on, Jackie asked Liv Morgan. She's like, "What's the focus of Judgment Day?" And she's like, "That is to get all the gold." And then Raquel, we see call out Paige and Brie Bella, so they're hinting at that. And then we see Bailey and Lyra jump in. We see Bailey and Lyra interfere and jump in. And so that happened too. So maybe they're planning a tag team title match between Bailey and Lyra. I gotta be quite honest with you. Um, I have a feeling that I wouldn't be surprised if in one of the upcoming wave of releases that Bailey might be on that. Not because Bailey did anything wrong. It's probably because Bailey might want out. I don't know. Like I just feel like she's kind of floundering on the main roster,
Mhm.
and I've also heard through the grapevine she's not really too happy, but that could be all hearsay. And not to mention, on top of that, you have TKO asking um, wrestlers apparently to take 50% pay cuts to TKO to save money, and which is part of the reason why New Day decided to mutually leave and get their release from WWE a couple days ago. So the scuttlebutt on the internet is a bunch of talents being released and asking for their releases. And here's the thing: a lot of these names were people that weren't even being used, or they weren't being used correctly, or weren't getting over. So, and I'm surprised that Johnny Gargano wasn't on that list for the one reason being is because I know he wasn't happy when Ciampa left.
Yeah, true.
We may have seen the end of the releases, but maybe not. There could be some more coming, but we'll have to see. But yeah, so they are while they are hinting towards Roxanne and Liv Morgan. This is also like a dual layer storyline. How they're talking about trying to get tag team gold. So I would expect like a tag team title match at some point, where maybe they don't even win the tag titles, and this is how Raquel leaves Judgment Day. Who knows? But they're gonna do that.
So sorry. I'm going through the.
Generally, we had a very good night of wrestling. Um, but Soul Ruka autograph signing, nice segment, really
Mhm.
good banter between Soul Ruka and um, Becky Lynch. But until the botched spot that we got,
Yeah, that Soul
um,
Snatcher was not cool.
yeah, I mean, I think she like the setup of that was definitely botched. She
Her right foot slipped off.
yeah, partially recovered, but not really. But she still hit it.
Yeah, it's a really
Um,
good move, but
it is. Oh, her new song, Soul Ruka's new song is horrible.
oh yeah, terrible.
Oh my gosh,
Like
I can't even say on the air what I thought of this song. It was bad.
they
A double dollar
basically
sign.
they basically like I understand she's from Cali, she's a Cali girl and everything. They did like 2000s like not even a Tony Hawk song. They could have at least picked like songs from the Tony Hawk soundtrack and got that. But they almost went like 90s skater video game where it was just like totally tubular, dude. Like what do you like why did they do that?
Her first song was I wasn't even really the biggest fan of her first song, but it was okay. I liked it, but like this one was just even worse. And
Yeah, it
it's
was
just every WWE theme song, most of which sounds all generic.
Yeah, no need for that. Just no need. But I don't know. Maybe if enough of us complain, they'll hear it. Because yeah, that was bad. That
I
really
love the
just.
dynamic that we got between Becky Lynch and Adam Pearce, with Becky Lynch accidentally punching Adam Pearce in the face.
Oh, that was cool.
That was really cool. I love the dynamic that we get there, that we got with that. All right, so I got to we got to talk about this because this is becoming a tongue twister every single week. Like, it's
What we
getting
got?
worse and worse every single week. This is becoming. You get the OG Americano.
Yes.
We got the Americano Grande. We got
Yep.
Ryu. We got
Yep.
Bravo. Now
Right.
we got Julio and Bruto.
Credo.
I
Credo.
It's such a tongue twister, and I'm having difficulty getting through talking about the Americanos every single week without botching my own and stumbling over my own words. But anyway, we're gonna give it a try here.
Los Hermanos
America.
Americanos. Now the Creed brothers came in on AAA anyways, so why didn't they initially come out as the Los Hermanos Americanos? It took them 2 days to then do it in America instead for whatever reason. It's pissing me off, man. But see if you can cover this match without losing your mind.
I didn't really take much notes on this match. It's just the point that this is starting to get a little confusing.
Oh yeah.
I get where the whole point of, and it was a good wrestling match, by the way.
Hmm.
Um, like, there was, like, the wrestling generally was very good last night. I felt like the match time was good, so fans weren't really necessarily gypped out of match time like WrestleMania, but um, yeah, we had Julio Bruto and OG Americano. Julio Bruto, the Hermanos Americano Hermanos, taking on El Grande Americano, Bravo, and Ryu. And it's almost as to the point where I feel like not only is El Grande Americano, Bravo, and Ryu are kind of, from what I've seen, are presented as the faces on AAA TV, but it seems like maybe they were presented as faces last night.
Yeah, it was
Did
weird.
I see that wrong?
No, it was like 50-50 almost, if not like I think people actually were kind of excited that the Creed brothers were back because it's been a while for both of them as well. So I don't know which one was hurt, if both of them were injured by some happenstance, but
Either that or they just had nothing to do. I mean, well, Chad Gable was gone for a while, and they had nothing really to do. I would have kept the Creed brothers on TV. They could have been injured. Maybe they were working main events, but
maybe the tag division is poopy right now. So
I know they're at the point where I think they got to merge the tag titles again, and just stop splitting the tag titles. Just have one set of tag team champions. Make Having one set of tag team champions makes those tag team champions that team. It'll just elevate them more, and it'll make the division also feel more fuller. Um, but they're currently building to the mask versus mask, El Grande Americano versus OG Americano. Um, so which Americano do you keep now? Because I feel like El Grande Americano has done really good with that gimmick, and
yeah.
OG, it was great, but El Grande Americano, I feel like, took it to another level.
Well, that's the thing. If he's the one that like it actually sounds like he learned Spanish, Rayo and Bravo are like they're actually built like luchadors, like OG and now Los Hermanos Americanos. They're not like built in that way. So I feel like they have a chance to do well as themselves versus Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Ludwig Kaiser, those were all B level guys for a while, if not C level guys. Not their wrestling; they're all very talented wrestlers, but in the aspect of where they were in programming, they were at the C level at best. By that I mean we never really got to see them. Sorry, stupid joke. But but yeah, now at least we have them in matches. They're in AAA now. Like they're able to get in tag matches and solo matches and everything like that. Now we had a trios match today instead of a triple threat, which was funny, or yesterday, I should say.
I
But
noticed that they used the term trios.
yeah, so that was really cool. And there's just a lot of like good wrestling in there. So I would personally say that OG is the one that has to go because like it's just the build isn't there. Ludwig is actually doing a very good job. And like I said, the other option is both of them end up getting their masks taken off like in the match somehow. So like not to say that the mask versus mask could be for nothing, but maybe they both take off their masks and we get a double knockout like me with UFC and everything. But if we could get a double mask off, but I don't know. I don't know what their decision would be here.
If El Grande Americano loses and Ryu and Bravo, I think they should form a new faction called like the Blue Bloods or something kind of like British style.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be something different. Have them come out in suits, all
Oh,
British and proper every single month. Every week. I think that would be really good. Um,
that would be the way to do it. Be the British brawlers.
yeah, I think that's where you go, and I think you get the Creed brothers going too. If that's a route, I don't know where they're gonna go. But I don't know. I have a sneaky feeling that they just brought on Julius Creed and the other guy to become the Americano Hermanos, right?
Mhm.
So why would they kill that after 3 weeks? So, which leads me to believe that it is possible that El Grande Americano could lose, and then you could just do something else with him. I would have him be like the British snob, but like a mixture of like what we saw with like Triple H and William Regal back in the day, like the Blue Bloods or whatever. But something like that, but maybe like dressed up in suits and with just everything British style, proper, and have that snobbish attitude with them, and I think that would be pretty cool. It would bring a more of a serious angle than the comedy act that we've gotten with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
yeah,
we'll have to
I
see
like it.
where they go with that.
I hope they listen to us.
What else do we got here? No, no, do that. And okay, let's talk Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. Um, that is coming up this Saturday at Backlash. I have to make sure I avoid the spoilers of Backlash because I won't be able to really start that show until 2 p.m. 10 p.m. that night. You figure it's gonna be a 3 hour show. I'm not gonna get home till 9:30, 9:45 easily that night. But anyway, I digress. Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu this um Saturday night. So let's jump right in.
Mhm.
Um, who do you got winning this Saturday? Because some people tend to believe that it could be Jacob Fatu. I am of the belief that Roman Reigns is gonna pull out the W and hold this belt on his waist for a few months until he crosses paths with Obafemi. That's my prediction. Unless they want to get to like a Jacob Fatu versus Obafemi type of thing. Um, but who do you got? Who do you got this Saturday? And also, I don't know if you noticed, but there was like people posting crazy rumors that Roman Reigns' schedule is empty from the beginning of June on. So I have hard trouble believing that. I think it's just the IWC running their mouth in different wrestling groups. But what do you think? What do you see in here?
Yeah, I would have to agree with you versus the masses on this one. Or I guess it really isn't the masses. But I don't know. Yeah, I understand where they say wide open, but I think that more means that like there's no really challengers right now. But there's definitely a bunch of people who are gonna want the belt eventually. So yeah, I think that they'll find plenty of things for him to do up until SummerSlam. But yeah, I couldn't see Roman winning the belt at WrestleMania just to lose it 3 weeks later at Backlash. I couldn't see it to Jacob. He's not established yet. He definitely got a few pops from attacking Roman and the Tongan death grip and everything. That was definitely crazy to see
I like how
multiple
this
times.
story is built around the Tongan death grip. You know,
Hmm.
more so about a finishing move rather than around about a necklace or anything like that. So apparently, the Tongan death grip is a move that's used by Samoan on only rare occasions out of a desperation. But
And now he's
Jacob
using it all
Fatu's
the time.
like, I'm desperate. I need to win your belt. I need to have a better house. I need to provide for my family. I need more money. I need this championship belt. So he feels that that has given birth to his desperation, which is why he justifies using the death grip on Roman Reigns to make a point heading into Backlash.
Hmm. Makes sense.
Now, to add to your point, Roman Reigns has a list of opponents he can go through over the next couple months. They won't run back Roman versus Punk, and if they did, it won't be for a long time for now. They have the opportunity where they can um, run Braun Breaker versus Roman, Seth Rollins versus Roman, as we saw last night. Jacob Fatu, they can run that a couple times. Who else? Oh, and not to mention, you have Obafemi looming. Um, so really quick, off the top of my head, there's about four challengers that Roman Reigns can face, and not to mention you got people on SmackDown that can swap over to Raw or to go um, challenge Roman Reigns.
Sorry, a bunch of motorcycles going by again. Uh, Absolutely. I think that there's plenty of growth and development still for Roman, which is crazy to say after him doing this for all the years. So that's where I think that him keeping it makes sense. But I kind of want to see I want to see what they do with Jacob here. Like that's where I'd be a little, you know, now how do you say this? You've you've already climbed the mountain 8 months into your run now. Where do you go from here if you don't win? It's kind of like you're taking or you're putting all your eggs into one basket and hoping that the whole thing don't crash down.
There is one reason, and this adds to a small percentage as to why I think Jacob Fatu might win. But again, it's not often where they play hot potato. So, um, Roman Reigns has been on record saying that before he leaves his company, he wants to help get his family members over. And Jacob Fatu was mentioned in that he wants to work with Jacob Fatu, um, and that he wants to help get his him over. Um, so with that being said, I don't think this is a one-off match. I think we could see this, and then they'll revisit it a little bit down the line. Maybe one more time before SummerSlam. Um, but or they do revisit it at SummerSlam. Who knows? but I don't think this is a one-off. Um, also for the surprise factor is like another reason why that it's possible that they could do this. Also, it's been heavily rumored that um, somebody's going to turn on somebody. Solo Sokoa's name has been mentioned in this, um, so I would not be surprised if we see him come out. The Usos, there's been rumors of Usos turning on Roman, or they could just really do the 100% full turn on Jacob Fatu here, just to solidify the reuniting of the bloodline. So, um, and
Oh, sorry. Continue. I'll
and
fill in here.
also they've been both Roman and both Jacob Fatu. They've been acting kind of heelish. So like, it's hard for me to really pinpoint who's the bad guy, who's the good guy in this feud. To be honest with you.
I think Roman's gonna always be the face until he goes up against a bigger face. I don't think Fatu obviously is a face yet. Like I said, he got some cheers. I definitely heard him in the crowd. But yeah, Roman is just way too big of a face. And like I said, I think he's always going to be a face. And that's the tough thing about him is trying to build around that. And like I said, until he goes up against a bigger face, he's going to be the guy cheered. So yeah, I'd be a little like I said, I'd be surprised if Roman doesn't come out on top for this one.
What were you gonna say a minute ago?
So
Like a light bulb went off.
I personally think that we're gonna get a crazy Samoan match for the belt with all the Samoans still left. Because Solo wants a piece of the pie, Jay had a piece of the pie, Roman has a piece of the pie, Fatu wants a piece of the pie, Jimmy's been chilling with no solo belts of his own for his entire career, I believe. So he's in there. Now you just lost two other guys, so Tala is the only one standing taller than the rest. I'm really with bad jokes today. Or yeah, what JC and Ringo got and what Tangaloa got sent packing as well, right? I got all the names right. I can't remember.
So what you're pitching is the idea of having all the Samoans fight for the match, fight for the championship, like maybe like a ladder match type of thing.
Something like that. I mean, I think it would be like a Samoan rules match or something. Maybe they'll throw it in like a larger idea of a Hell in a Cell because I don't think Roman wants to climb no more ladders, but sometimes you got to do it for the sake of the career. So, yeah, maybe they'll do a Samoan ladder match.
So the pay per view starts at 6 p.m. The first hour of which is on ESPN. So they're
Hmm.
doing that again. Um, the so I would say the main event. It's safe to say it'll probably start around 8:15 or so. Triple H likes to keep like the pay per views at or just under 3 hours, and he likes to keep WrestleMania and SummerSlam at or just under 4 hours. Same thing with the Royal Rumble and Survivor Series.
Hmm.
So I would expect the main event to start around 8:15 Eastern time, but the pay per view starts at 6, and more than likely they put in Roman versus Jacob Fatu last.
Yeah, it sounds right.
So let me ask you, and we'll close out the show with this. And is there anything else we need to touch on as far as like releases go and stuff?
Um, I think we got everybody. I believe. Let's see. Did we? No, because everything else was more last week, and then I think the only thing was really the New Day was yeah, the New Day was kind of they requested after that Monday Night Raw. Um, I wonder who I wonder who they asked the 50% pay cut to. Like I remember you said that I had no clue. So now reading about it, I wonder who. got that question and who didn't.
That is very, very unknown.
Hmm.
I can tell you more than likely it wasn't like a main eventer.
Um,
I don't think it's gonna be Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins or
True.
I think we're probably looking at more so like the mid carders.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Like CM Punk, I doubt he was asked. I doubt Cody was asked.
Yeah.
You never know, but again, like TKO, I don't think has formally announced that. It's just the rest of the wrestling world is talking about it because somebody from the inside leaked it. So we don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna. There's. I don't think there'll be a strike, but there's definitely gonna be some contract negotiations soon. Speaking of, I think a lot of people believe that Kyrie Sane will be back at Backlash. I think that that was a very strange decision on whose ever part to not bring her
But
back.
as like a one off.
What's up?
But as like a one off.
Oh, you think so? They'll just give her a 1 day contract to come back?
Yeah, to kind of maybe tie up the loose ends with this feud and then maybe have like a proper goodbye, so to speak. Which New Day should have gotten a goodbye. They
Yeah.
how they're just here one day and gone the next. It's very possible. I'm kind of having trouble believing it, but with AEW's All In pay per view in the summertime in England, it's very possible that New Day could show up in
Yeah.
AEW. To be honest with you,
Is that 90 days away?
All In. That is a very very good question. 90 days away brings us to July 21st. If I'm not mistaken, or very very close to it.
When is AEW England? Sunday, August 30th.
Woo!
Yeah, plenty of time.
All In is August 30th. That late?
Is scheduled at Wembley, August 30th, 2026. I wouldn't lie to you, sir.
So All Out's probably going to be a couple weeks after that. Wow.
When is AEW All Out? All Out is Saturday, September 20th. You're good.
We are
That'll be at
from
Toronto.
New York, my friend. We are from New York. The expectations of winning Roman and Jacob, if you want to rewind it back about 10 minutes ago, we pretty much covered that. But I don't want to say I'm on the fence 50-50. I'm pretty sure Roman's going to win. This way, we get to like other feuds because there's people on this roster that Roman hasn't feuded with yet. We have new faces. We got Braun Breaker. We got Obafemi who's looming and waiting for his opportunity. So it's very possible that Roman's gonna win. I also wouldn't be shocked if Jacob wins. But we'll have to see how it plays out. I don't think this is gonna be a one off by any means. I think we're gonna get a couple matches out of Roman versus Jacob. But Roman does want to do his hardest best to get Jacob Fatu over. That we know, that is factual. Um, but whether that includes a title change or not, we just don't know. But hopefully, Jacob Fatu comes out shining with or without the title. So this way, we can expect more and better things for Jacob. But
Mhm.
one
Um,
last thing, and then we're gonna wrap this up. We're
go
gonna
for it.
put this to bed. John Cena has a big announcement this Saturday, live from Backlash. An announcement that's supposed to change history going forward. How many times have we heard something like that? But what could this announcement possibly be? Like, what do you think? Like, what do you think we might get here with John Cena's big announcement?
Um, mm,
Do you think they're gonna announce WrestleMania
oh,
44?
no. It's the Club WWE thing. Did you see the? Oh, you don't really see commercials because you have the like Netflix,
Yeah,
the VPN.
I
Did you
use the
see?
NordVPN and I switch it to a European VPN. So this way it helps me avoid commercials on WWE programming, and yeah, it avoids the ads, and it puts all the WWE programming, SmackDown, Netflix, all on Netflix.
Love that.
Um, yeah,
Now, I don't know if it was during a commercial or if it was during there, but it was something called Club WWE. Did you see it?
yes,
I think, and John Cena had hosted. There, like he was talking about it. So I think it's going to be John Cena just talking more about Club WWE. But I hope not. Like I hope
watch.
that
It's
they
gonna be
actually.
like it's gonna be. I'm wondering what the price points are gonna be for that.
Oh, who knows? It'll probably be like multiple subscription. Well, you know what they'll probably do with stuff like that is they'll have multiple different subscription levels. So they'll have like standard fan, and then they'll have like ringside fan, and then they'll have like VIP fan.
Yeah,
Other than
and
that,
Green Shirt guy is gonna have the highest one.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. A lot of people are saying that they're gonna give it's gonna be a WrestleMania or Royal Rumble home or some announcement for a PLE or something. So I could definitely see that one happening as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
they could very well talk about like where WrestleMania 44 is going to be, um, where Royal Rumble is going to be, but the way that like the wording of this announcement, this advertisement was with John Cena's big announcement, I sent it. I tend to um, lean more towards what you said, that it could be more. We get going to get further detail about WWE for sure.
well, I wish that it would have been being the mystery tag partner for Danhausen versus The Miz.
Oh, so who do you think is going to be the tag partner for Danhausen?
I honestly don't know. I thought it would be CM Punk because he hasn't really been doing anything. And why wouldn't he want to kick the Miz's butt? So I was thinking probably CM Punk because they go way back, or Pepsi Phil, as Dan likes to call him. So that would make sense. I don't really think Miz is like Miz really isn't feuding with anybody else. And ooh, you know what? You know what? I think Elton Prince comes back, tags with Danhausen, and then turns on him within like 30 seconds. And then we have a faction of the Miz becomes a prodigy teacher, and then he tries to manage Kit and Elton again. And obviously Danhausen wasn't in WWE, so he doesn't know who Elton even is.
So in kayfabe world,
He
he
just
won't know
got
who Elton is.
right. But he goes, "Yeah,
So
I just found this guy on the side of the road. You know, I thought I'd take him in and see if he could help me out." And it's fucking Elton Prince. Excuse my French, but like that would just be insane, and everyone would be like, "Where has this guy been?" And then literally he would just turn on Danhausen first 30 seconds.
I would honestly like it to be Obafemi. Like Obafemi should have a spot on the show.
Yeah, but I think being uh I think being on Raw is kind of killing that. Same with Joe. I thought Joe Hendry would be a great one. Like Danhausen would say his name and he would appear, or they would both appear, which would be freaking hysterical. Is like Danhausen goes, I heard of this one guy. If you say his name, he appears. So I'm gonna try it. And then he just says Joe Hendry, and Joe Hendry shows up. That would honestly make my night. I'm gonna change my answer to Joe Hendry. Danhausen is gonna be like, I heard. It's literally, he's gonna say, I heard this guy, and if you say his name, he shows up. And then he says Joe Hendry, and he shows up. Because the Miz, I think, hates Joe Hendry too in kayfabe world, as you said.
Yeah. So um, it very well could be. WWE cares but doesn't really care about crossover too much lately. It
Yeah.
appears, especially during WrestleMania season. So there's always the possibility that somebody could jump ship.
Hmm.
But
But I think also SmackDown needs a little bit of help with like faces and also just wrestlers in general. Now being 3 hours, and I feel like they're lacking. So it could make sense for CM Punk to jump the Raw ship, and it would lead him into SmackDown because now that gives you the SmackDown side of taking on Miz and Kit. So we shall see.
any last second thoughts to wrap up this week regarding the Raw show?
No, that's really it. That's all I got. I think we
Backlash.
covered everything. I like it. Backlash is gonna
It's
be
shaping up to be
good.
pretty decent. It's got potential.
Absolutely.
Um, I think with Backlash this week, you need to have Braun Breaker win for sure.
Hmm.
You need to start working on getting these newer guys over. So I think that's where we're at. We need Braun Breaker with the win. Roman Fatu, more than likely it's gonna be Roman. Would be too shocked if they went Fatu here, just for the surprise factor, just to throw a little, injection of interest. Um, so it's very possible to see who turns on who shows up for the shenanigans in that match. We're gonna have a very good match between Asuka and IyO. The star power in this pay per view isn't too crazy, but like I'm looking at the matches, and I think we're gonna have a pretty good show. So, um, and yeah, we will see from there. But for those of you guys that are watching, we will be back next week, um, talking Backlash and Monday Night Raw. More than likely next Tuesday once again. And be on the lookout for an AEW post show at some point coming within the next couple of weeks. Due to my work schedule, it's going to be probably a little bit difficult to book one on a Wednesday night. But we will try to get an AEW post show out to you guys very soon. We have Shiv, one of our new co-hosts for the AEW side, who is itching to get back on, so we got to make that happen. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for our shorts this week. We will have a top 5 coming, another edition of the top 5 coming within another week or so. So a lot of good things. So stay tuned. Those of you guys that are listening on the podcast itself, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. This will help us out. Those of you guys that are watching on Instagram, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel where all our content will be. Those of you guys that are watching, thank you so much. Brandon, thank you so much for yet another edition. And episode 150 is in the books of the Aftermath Pro Wrestling Podcast. We will catch you guys soon.
Agility from the champion. Uh-oh! Oh, Jesus! That could be a deliberate